guys, Ron here, and for a long time I've been waiting for Game Freak to make more legendary Pokemon that are related to average Pokemon. Kinda like how Deontay is a mutation of Carbink. I got so tired of waiting that I decided to do it myself. So in this video, I took 3 average Pokemon who I think needed more powerful looking designs and reimagined them as legendary Pokemon. One of these is an evolved form of an existing Pokemon, another is a powerful ancient version of a Pokemon I'm not a fan of, and the other is a Pokemon I think had a lot of potential, so I spiced it up and gave it a more powerful version of its species. Now keep in mind, it's my birthday, so be extra polite and say nice things about my silly little drawings. But don't worry, I made sure that the creations in this episode deserve to be praised. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see part 2, and let me know which Pokemon you think could be upgraded and become legendary Pokemon. The first Pokemon I want to redesign as a legendary Pokemon is Behem. It's a Pokemon with a genius concept, but its execution has left that concept kind of underappreciated. It's an alien that looks like secret government agents, you know, the men in black with fedoras and trench coats who would deal with alien sightings and allegedly wipe your memories. But how about I make a cooler version of Behem with a design that makes this origin much more explicit? I want to make Behem Prime, the original versions from a different planet that sent normal Behem to our world on a secret mission. I'll try to give it some UFO attributes as well. Perhaps I'll combine the UFO with the hat. The end goal is really just to make a cooler Behem that people would actually want to train. Now, originally I wanted to experiment with a xenomorph type head, so I gave it a long hat, but that won't last. Its eyes are going to look even more like sunglasses, and its trench coat torso will be longer, and it'll have a more hourglass figure, something slender like most aliens in media. It will be stretching its arms towards us like it's trying to erase our memories, a very confident pose. I separated its head from the hat so I can make its brim more UFO-like. Its collar is longer, which makes it look more menacing too. I added the patterns that it has on its head to its chest to mimic the look of a tie or the flaps on its trench coat. I added lights to its UFO hat and finalized the dimensions of its body before adding longer legs. I'll make its body dark blue because black would be too scary and on the nose. It's basically a higher ranking Behem, so I want it to look dripped out. Behold, Behem Prime, the celestial Pokemon. A legendary Psychic Steel Pokemon with Pressure and Synchronize. When Behem flashes the lights on their fingers, they're communicating with Behem Prime, their superiors from space. Behem Prime only come to our world when the mission of Behem is compromised, or if people and Pokemon are in catastrophic danger. The inner machinations of their mind is an enigma. Scientists can't comprehend the true nature of Behem Prime's objective. Those who have come in contact with Behem Prime completely forget that they ever existed. The knowledge of their existence has only recently been possible through camera footage, even though these videos have become mysteriously blurry. The brim of their hat-like heads are able to spin with interchanging lights that blind opponents and even make them feel sick. They're able to telekinetically flatten a field of wheat in an instant as they fly back to space. Their eyes are able to monitor what is happening on the surface of our planet all the way from the exosphere. Its shiny is an even blacker nod to the men in black. Their rarity, from the fact that they literally don't live on Earth, makes it perfect for a single legendary encounter in game. I assume there will be a whole side mission where you help out a group of Behem, and a Behem Prime comes down from space to greet and thank the player. The point was to make this Pokemon still look enough like a Behem so it can be the same species, but clearly a more powerful and almost ancient version of Behem. Now, I'm a big Castform fan. I don't want to use it, but I think it's cute and I like its forms. But what if it was not only usable, but had a purpose and full potential to be unlocked? I want to make an evolved form of Castform that has the abilities of its multiple forms without needing to change forms. I'll also turn its lumps into legs and give it arms. I'm going to turn it into a cute mythical Pokemon like Marshadow or Victini with the stature of Zeraora or Magearna. Something respectable. It's a Castform, the definition of just a basic normal type design. It's super straightforward, so I want to make its evolved form a bit more interesting. I originally wanted to base it on the Japanese god of storms, Susanoo, or give it Mercury attributes. But instead, I'll give it an astronaut vibe, with a water droplet as a helmet. I want to make it look like a hero, you know? I'm starting by making a traditional Castform face by extruding its facial patterns outwards so it looks like a visor on the top of its face. Its eyes are more sly and its expression more confident. It almost looks like the sun with sunglasses motif. It'll have a water droplet helmet with a stylized tail. I added the antenna that Castform has so it looks like the strand of hair some superheroes like Superman have. I'll turn its 2 round mounds into elongated legs and will give it some buff arms that look like blasters, but they will be made of clouds. I made its legs look puffy, almost like the suit of an astronaut, but it's actually made of denser storm clouds. I changed the pose up and gave it a cloud collar that looks like the bandana a cowboy would wear around his neck, or the scarf on a pilot. Now I'll just refine the design before giving it the color scheme of Castform's rain form. Its legs are darker because they're storm clouds. Now it looks like what Castform was always going to transform into. Check out Overcast, a water flying type, the mythical evolved form of Castform. It evolves when you take a Castform to space, where its body naturally acclimates to the cold vacuum of space. This Pokemon's entire body is made of water. It can instantly freeze its water helmet to protect against headshots and can evaporate its body to dodge attacks. It can collect more water molecules in the air to add to its body. It freezes its fists to inflict serious damage and can boil its legs to increase its speed. It can shoot pressurized water from its helmet as well. Overcast loves to travel around the world, bringing rain to dry and arid environments. Overcast has made friends with people from every corner of the world. It has the ability Drizzle and hidden ability Volt Absorb, which nullifies its biggest weakness. Like a cloud, it can become electrically charged, which makes it more powerful. This Pokemon also has the powers of all three forms of Castform, but I assume its rain form is its most natural form considering it's a water molecule and can be found in rainy or moist locations. I think it definitely fits the mythical vibe, and it's a super endearing design. I'm sure it would make Castform very popular if this powerful evolution actually existed. Plus, Castform's stat distribution is uniform, just like with most mythicals, so its evolution into a mythical with these kind of stats feels totally natural. And now, I want to redesign a Pokemon that I actually don't like. I'm going to make an ancient ancestor of Ambipom, as an excuse to redesign Ambipom. I'm going to base it on the Mayan howler monkey god that was a major deity of the arts. This new Pokemon will be skilled in crafting and has covered parts of its body, especially its tail, with clay, so it'll have these clay fists on the ends of its tails. It's gonna hit way harder than normal Ambipom, and it'll be bulky but a bit pretty, with lots of jewelry. Many legendaries have ornaments after all. I suspect that modern Ambipom are simply weaker versions of this monkey god. I'm going to start off with a buff monkey body, just a bulkier Ambipom before adding all the new and extra attributes. It's a quadruped. I'm actually a fan when Pokemon who stand up become more feral when they evolve, but this isn't an evolution, just an ancient form of an entire Ambipom family. I took the hairs Ambipom had and made them into a top knot, and opened its mouth like it was howling. Now the goofy haircut that Ambipom sports has more context. It's reminiscent of the haircuts Mesoamerican civilizations like the Incans would have. It'll have broad and furry shoulders. This dude is strong. I kept the snub nose since it doesn't look creepy on this Pokemon. Its ears are straight up Ambipom's. Now it's time to give it jewelry, but it looked too feminine when I added jewelry to the hair, so to balance it out I made its knot a braid. Time for the tails. Instead of weird bulgy cysts like Ambipom's tail hands, this dude will have actual fists covered in clay. Now at this point this could look like an evolution, but since we want it to be a legendary, we're gonna make it extra fancy and flamboyant. This dude's an artist and designs the accessories on its body. I gave it bracelets made of the material that it uses to sculpt, and actual hands since it needs to use them to create art. But I made its feet more reminiscent of the appendages that Ambipom has. It'll be a darker purple with a tan skin instead of cream yellow. Red clay and gold accents. The red is already present in Ambipom, so it still feels like a natural progression. Now this looks like a monkey god. Here is Artisaru, the sculpting Pokemon, from Artisan and Saru, Japanese for monkey, a fighting and ground type. This ancient species is an ancestor of Ambipom. Artisaru carries jewelry made of clay and gold that it molds and mashes using its fists to sculpt all kinds of artistic creations. It fortifies the hands on its tail with hard clay in order to maximize the damage that they can produce. It wrecks rocks and excavates using its tail in order to collect all kinds of materials it can use in its artistic endeavors. It's an expert fighter, but quite tranquil and imaginative outside of battle. It could hold its own against the powerful Pokemon of old, while still gaining the respects of humans for its marvelous creations. Some of Artisaru's creations have been unearthed and completely preserved. The carvings and patterns on these artifacts even mesmerize modern patrons of the arts. Artisaru uses enchanting howls to communicate across dense jungles. They have the abilities Iron Fist and Stamina. I assume you'd either be able to encounter this legendary Pokemon in a Legends Arceus-style game, or battle one that has been preserved in clay for hundreds of years. This Pokemon is definitely different enough to be an evolution of Ambipom, but I purposely made it extra ornate and full of detail like most legendaries. I actually envisioned it as a counterpart to Zarude, since their types cancel each other's out, and both have bracelets. It's honestly what I wish Ambipom was in the first place. I hope you like it too, and if you enjoyed and want to see part 2, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to check out the previous art videos like turning video game characters into Pokemon or Pokemon type swaps. Consider becoming a patron or clicking the join button to get cool rewards like seeing my videos days early and huge discounts on the t-shirts I made for you guys. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram where I will post the full art of these Pokemon. Bye!